AYO New York podcast.
Let's get to it.
Definitely discussing some shit.
The pressure is on.
I guess let me introduce our guest Rob. This is Rob King. He's here chilling with us for the day. Nook Sauce ain't here, but we was gonna have Rob on anyway, so it's whatever. It makes sense anyway. So.
I appreciate it, yo.
Yep.
We traded out the Rob for the Rob.
Oh
Hey.
yeah. That's funny.
No beef.
Yeah.
No beef.
All right. What y'all been up to this summer, man? Anything?
Man,
Y'all been to any cookouts?
no, you know,
When the last time y'all been to a cookout?
Nah.
listen, the last time I've been to a cookout, maybe like a year ago. But see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So living out in Rochester and everybody else living back here, we can't just go down the
commute,
street.
the
Well,
commute.
you know what I'm saying? Because we used to just pop up and be like, yo, we cooking out.
Yeah, but a cookout nowadays is hamburgers and hot dogs and macaroni salad.
There's nothing special on the menu.
Yeah, it's just not like you know. It's the big mama with the arms ain't cooking.
Nah.
It's one of
We ain't
those.
getting that no more.
Yeah. But you know,
That's how you know the food good too. She got
a
that
fact.
little fat swinging.
Right.
Yeah,
Yo, remember back in the days, the grown-ups used to just cook they'll have the ribs and chicken for themselves and give the kids the hot dogs.
yeah, or hide.
That's
shit,
kind of
yeah.
fucked up when you think about it. Like, how does that, like, if we were to do that nowadays, my son would look at me like, Dad, you're telling me I can't have none of that, the ribs and chicken right there? Like, that's right. He's spoiled, though.
Same way you used to hide sodas. Y'all get that juice? I'd be like, nah, I'm
you
gonna
gotta do that.
Nigga, don't the sodas.
That's a rite of
right
passage.
there.
They got to go through the same thing we went through.
Right. No, see, my son's spoiled. I can't. I've already done it, Rob. It's already,
You've already hit
done,
that
man.
switch. They've already.
Yeah, nah, we be balling out. We like remember who was the comedian that was saying something about like we just go get ice cream. Oh, it was Cat Williams. Yeah. He was like, we just go buy ice cream cones, lick them one time, and throw them out. Like, that's how we be doing, man. I don't give a fuck, man.
Disposable ice cream.
Yeah,
That's
nah.
what we use. That's
My son would be way too spoiled though for even like if you had like pop in the house. Like my mom used to do that. She used to like have the pop for her, and we used to drink Kool-Aid and shit like that. And but we would steal her pops, obviously. You know what I mean?
right out the 2 liter, nigga. You fucking around with me.
But my son would look at me like, "What? Like I can't, like, huh?"
Right,
You know what I mean? Like he knows that you got to be limited, but like I'm not. I don't like keep stuff from him like that.
They do got a lot more privileges now.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely, man.
I think it was because it was taboo when we was kids. Though.
That's a fact,
At the same time,
Yeah.
you know, they buy something that's for you, and when it's all gone, then you still get in trouble.
Right. Well, things are just different in
that was
general
hard.
now. You know, it's just different. Like even like I've been seeing a lot of people like sharing this one thing. They were like, "Oh, family's not family anymore," and like the kids don't even know their own cousins, and it's like, you know, that is true. There's some truth
not
to
wrong.
it.
They're not
But like let's really unpack that and think about it though, right?
don't-
Like. I got some toxic ass family members that I don't want to be around. We have elevated to a place where we don't have to be around people that we don't like, even if they aren't family, because you know you don't like all your family, man. Like there's some family that's just like you want to fucking strangle them. You know what I'm saying? And they
I
just
don't want to subject my kid to that energy.
absolutely. You know what I
honest
mean?
with
Like
you,
I don't have back in the day, and that's how I know like we kind of like I said, like the evolution of people we just kind of gotten better with things, because back in the day they would be like, you know, your creepy uncle or something like that. It's all right, like just don't worry about it, just stay away from him. Like, wait,
just
what
stay
the
away
fuck?
from him,
Like,
yeah.
no, we
Yeah,
shouldn't
just
be
don't talk to him.
anywheres. We shouldn't be anywheres where he is.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep him away
Like,
from him.
yeah. I mean, I know I got some shitty ass family members, man. And look, I could be one of the shitty family members that they are thinking about. I don't know.
And that's
You
why
know?
they're not around.
Yeah, we just ain't vibing, man.
Well, think about this. Do you expose your kid to your crackhead uncle? Like how we got exposed to it as a kid?
Right, no,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Like,
No, I
knew
hear
my
you.
uncle, you know what I
Right.
mean? That was on it. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
No, I get it. I mean, it's like you said, it's different times.
And they wonder why we ain't got barbecues with each other and fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like,
You
no.
invite the wrong person to
Yeah,
that.
y'all stay
You
the
can't
fuck
keep your
over
mouth
there.
quiet.
Yeah, well, because back then everybody just hid their person shit. Don't go upstairs in my house. Don't do these shit, right? Like,
Yeah,
that's how shit used to happen. You had restrictions on when you went to somebody's
That's a
house or not.
fact.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now I just
absolutely.
don't want people in my shit.
Yeah.
Right, no, I hear you.
Don't
Yeah.
in my house.
Yeah, no, I just when I see all that shit, man, I start to think about it, because like people always exaggerate everything. Like they're always like, you know, they just make a big deal out of something to where I'm like, I don't think y'all thinking this through. You know what I'm saying? Like I think like it's okay to not like be around all your family, like because you know what happens when all the family get together. Sometimes like it's okay to do it every now and then, but I think too much of it, family or not, too much of it, the wrong motherfuckers is just not gonna be a good outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, you could probably predict the outcome. They're like, yo,
Yeah.
so and so coming, you know, I already know how it is. Right? So you do
Get
this.
your energy
you do
right
this.
before they get here, yo.
Like, you should not have a pep talk before you go to something that's supposed to be
definitely
fun.
like-
You know what I'm saying?
People are a lot more, they're a lot more safe about like who they have around their kids now too, and
Yeah,
it makes
that's a
sense.
fact.
You know what I mean? Especially like people like with daughters and stuff like that.
yeah.
They're a lot more like safer like about like who lets like they're like even like I've known some people that like they won't even like send their kid with their uncle or something. Like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
I'm like,
well, because the thing is it is now news spreads so fast, right? And so now you see all these instances that have been happening, and they're like, nah, everybody starts getting on edge. But I mean, it's true. I mean, look at how we used to travel around at like 7, 8 years old. We used to be walking to the park and going here. My 13-year-old son walked to the basketball court that's half a block over, and I'm calling him on the way there. Why you didn't call me when you got there? What time you coming back?
It is different,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? It's
I
real
was
different.
7 years old, walking down this street right here, the south side.
Yep.
So yeah,
Yep.
it ain't the same.
With grown ass men, grown ass men down. You know what I mean? Now I don't trust nobody. I don't care who you are.
You ever? I just seen this girl say something about that she had brought her daughter to the doctors, and then she had no consent of. And I'm kind of just switching the subject, but I just
you good.
talking about kids, but she didn't have no say so if her daughter wanted the birth control shot.
So-
she was 12.
Oh,
Her
yeah.
daughter was
Well,
12.
yeah. See, the age thing. I was gonna say if she was 16, that makes sense. But yeah, 12. I don't know.
I don't know about that.
No, I guess, and I don't know if it's just New York State, but you're not allowed to. Like the parent can't say anything at that age, and the girl accepted it. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, how? Why is this? Like
That's
what?
crazy.
I just.
I wish
didn't-
you might tell me. No, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Well,
saying?
y'all
Like,
have daughters, so I get like that's why I was like, I guess I was like trying to like, you know what I mean? See, like I got a son, so I don't know. I've never been through that or understand like that.
I'd be the
but
same exact way.
That
with
would
a
be
boy,
crazy
whether it
for
be-
me to be not to be in control of like them giving my kid like, you know what I mean?
Right,
That
exactly.
You know?
Well,
I thought
because
that
I'm
was weird.
still stuck in my old ways. If a doctor, you sitting there, you're the doctor, and he's like, "Well, you don't have any say." I'd be like, "Who the fuck are you talking to?" Right? And they're probably gonna kick me out the doctor's office.
Look, they take your parents' rights away as it is. You know what I mean? So like, I can
Yeah.
understand that, but I don't want to get into that conversation because you know how people is with that.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Well, hey, Miss Stupid. Yeah.
Shit.
What up, man? What up? Well, because it's funny that you say that because it's like that's the other argument. Like when I look in the comments, people are like, "Well, they're letting these kids chop their damn dicks off, and you know what I mean, become other genders." And it's like, well, all right, yeah, I understand, yeah, but I think you need parent consent for that.
You do. You should.
So, like, how do you
Yes.
not need parent
But-
consent for like a birth control for a 12-year-old?
So you do need parent consent for for
surgery
the
or
actual
something.
surgeries, but now they're actually calling CPS on parents who are denying that, like, say your kid feels this way. And like I seen a great thing, and I'm not here or there on it. Like that's not what I choose to do. Everybody is whoever, right? And I'm not just pleasing people who talk shit because I don't give a shit about what anybody has to say. But you're talking about kids who remember how you used to look at shit, like shit that I see now when I'm a grown adult. I'm like, why did I used to think of things like that? Like, because no one explained it to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you almost live in like a fairy tale land where stuff don't make sense until you get older.
Yeah, you're just learning.
And that's kind of how I look at a kid. Like, a kids cry when they don't believe in Santa Claus no more. You mean to tell me that a 8-year-old can make the decision just to change his gender or his species? Right? They got the fur babies and
I guess
people
so,
who
yeah,
play as
yeah,
cats and shit nowadays. You know what I'm saying? But it's I can't, and I'm not against it.
I feel you.
I know some of everybody, but you can't tell me that a child's mind can wrap its head around the concept that they're in the wrong body or the wrong species or the wrong race.
Right.
It is a learning process. Their brain's not developed yet. There's, you know what I mean?
Confusion in there. You know what I mean?
It's somewhere. Let them be an adult. It's just the same thing your mom used to tell you before you left the house. You gonna do what I say until you leave this motherfucking house.
Right.
Because as parents, that's what you're supposed to do. You guide them. You know what I mean? I give you all the tools so you can have everything possible to arm yourself to when you leave my house.
Well, yeah, because there's some of that parenting now to where they do it. They're like, well, I just let him like.
Make decisions.
Like have it out, and you know what I mean, like however he feels, and it's like, hell no. this is a little person that knows nothing that you have to like teach things, and you know what I mean. Like you have to give them a little blueprint, like teach them to be like independent and stuff like that, and teach them to like think on their own. You know what I mean? But you have to give them some type of blueprint. You know what I mean?
Well, you have to have some type of guide. Like
that's what I mean.
That. That's an oven. It's hot. Right. It will burn the shit out of you.
Exactly.
It's the equivalent of me leaving a loaded 9mm gun on the counter and being like, figure it out.
Figure it out. Right. Right.
A kid is gonna be like, oh shit, bomb.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that doesn't make sense to me.
That's a good comparison.
Like whether it's gender, like I said, I don't judge people. That's their life. I live my own. But a kid not being guided is how you get all these catch me outside chicks on Dr. Phil, and you wondering why they don't listen to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no,
these
you're gonna
girls.
listen.
I was watching the damn Ice Spice, and boy, whenever anything gets rough on stage, she's got a lot better. She's got a lot better. But anytime anything gets rough on stage, she's just like, fuck it, start shaking ass.
Just start
shaking ass, like, all right, you know what I mean? And look, I love ass, but at a certain point, you're like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
When in doubt, twerk.
Yeah, where's the talent? You know?
Yo, that's
talent, brother. That is a talent.
Oh, well, yeah, all right, you got me there. Right?
Not if everybody's doing it. Like that's not a talent anymore. It's not a rare talent. Like LeBron is a rare talent.
It's not rare, but it's you know.
Yeah, she's just like twerk, and then it's just
no. That's how when anything fails, just like, fuck it, shaking some ass. Man, I don't know. Whatever.
But doesn't it even start there though? So like I used to have that with my daughters, and now I don't see people doing that. But if my daughter tried to act grown when she was young, saying something to me, and your hand is on your hip, I'm like, get your hands off your hips. Right. And people don't really understand why you say that, but that's them being disrespectful to you.
Exactly.
They're showing you a tone.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And they're getting to a certain way, and that's disrespectful. So you got to correct that. So now they know it's like, oh, I have to. I have to be mindful. I have to watch what I'm saying and what I'm doing and how I'm approaching the situation.
Right.
It's the same thing in any aspect.
With my son, like the way I do with him, I'm just so straightforward with him, man.
Yes.
I'm like, yo, man, listen, like, don't act don't act like that, because it's like, all right, I don't like to use that language, but sometimes you have to. What am I trying to say?
So.
Well, no, because I don't like to tell him, like, yo, don't act like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, don't be that way.
Well,
this is not how you're supposed to be.
You tell him,
but
this is how you're coming across. And so,
right. There you go. That's I guess that's more of
the word that I use, right? Excuse me. Like, when I'm speaking to my sons, I go, yo, you got weird behavior going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
I'll tell my son when he's acting weird.
And that's my number one saying. I'll be like, yo, this is weird behavior. And then I'll explain to him. I'll be like, yo, listen, if you got something to say, just say it. Yeah. I figured out the reason why. So, yeah, we may have grew up differently than how these kids are right now. And, everybody has trauma some type of where. But what we learned from that and what we gained from that was you seen the world as it actually was.
Right.
It wasn't hidden from you, though. Right. You know what I mean? And so what I do is I protect my kids from the world, but I show them everything and I tell them everything. Yeah, you're not covering your eyes up here. No, those are boobs. And this is how the situation is. Don't be looking it up on your phone. I'm checking your phone. Let me see your phone. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like you're explaining them the whole life, because if you do not explain to your kids what's going on out there, you're setting them up for failure. Right. They're either going to happen, especially with young women, one or two ways. If you protect them from everywhere, and I know everybody in this room has seen this. If you take a little girl and you restrict her from everything, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't go out, you can't talk to this, you can't have a boyfriend, you can't do these things. They're going to do one or two things. They're either going to be extremely introverted and become a weirdo amongst all, or they're going to be what? The pop off of the pop off, right? They're gonna be like, I wasn't able. Like when they get out of the house, they're just like, yo, I have to do everything I wasn't allowed to do. And it's just like the white girls whose parents used to be like, you better not bring a nigga in this house. What do they mainly go after?
They gonna date the black
because it's taboo, right? They weren't able to get this. You know what I mean?
So matter of fact, we used to look for them ones.
Right.
Because you knew what it was. Snipe it, right? It's easy. Boom. They're looking for it. I'm willing to make somebody mad today. Yeah, I used to have a cop that used to sit around in school for me, waiting for me to get out of school.
Yeah, that was weird.
Because of his daughter. Yeah.
I witnessed that one time.
I almost got murdered. And nobody cared.
In the basement.
Nobody cared, dude. I was looking around like nobody's gonna help me. I thought I was tough too. Boy, I had a do-rag and it was tight as a bitch. But you know what I mean? Nobody was there to help me, and I realized I wasn't really that tough because he probably could have just did something to me and left me there.
And at the same time,
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like,
he did have a gun on him.
he did have and a badge, and so that, I mean, that gives the upper hand. But ultimately, though, you do have to take control sometimes. Let kids be free thinkers, let them be free movers, and teach them the world. But you have to be there to be like, no, and this is why.
Right. See, I'm going through what you're talking about a little bit. I won't go too deep, but it's harder when you're part-time of a parent. Right. It's harder to control that, and that's the difficulty that I'm going through. You know,
you got different rules at different places.
Trying to establish that, but you only got so much time to establish it, so you're not really making that much.
Then usually, and then too, I don't like to speak for all people, but a lot of the times, and I'm not saying in your situation, but a lot of the times, the dad comes off as the enforcer.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean?
Well, and then you're only stuck in that lane, though. So I learned this, though, right? So I learned this. And what it is a key word. It's consistency, right? Because you could be the meanest guy on earth, and as long as your wife or your other is in that same household with you, that structure's still there. So it doesn't really matter. Everybody's kind of going with the same thing, right? You're like, the male tends to be more of the enforcer / disciplinary, and the mom is the love and feelings, but she backs up what the father says. You know what I mean? So the kids can't get away with it. And those split homes, it's inconsistency because at here, drill sergeant, right? Yeah. And then we go over to the love, and I can get away more here, and that's typically with the female. And I'm not saying everybody. I don't want nobody to get offended saying that, you know, because it's not in that way. It's just nature, right? So when you're, and I learned this the hard way because me and my ex-wife of my teenage boys, we rekindled our things. And so, you know, you used to talk a little shit. You'd be like, well, what are you guys doing over there? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you get in there and you're like, oh, you motherfuckers, this is what y'all been doing. You know what I mean? And like, they use literally the term mom and dad against people. It's you know what I'm saying? And
we used to do the same when we were a kid. You know what I mean? We knew who to go to when the right thing.
It was the same
You're right.
thing.
Yeah. I know to go to my dad if I need money or something like I get it. Yeah.
And if I did something, which I normally did, we all know this, that if I did something that was going to get me in trouble, who did I tell first? My mom. And I told her like it was a secret, and you know what I mean? Because I got to break it
so she can lay it on my dad easily.
Yeah.
Because he was 0 to 100.
Automatically. Yeah. But and that's just what it is. And the thing of nowadays, and I'm guilty of it. You know, pretty much a lot of people are guilty of it nowadays. Is you don't have those homes, whether or not it was toxic or good relationships or bad relationships. Having two parents in a house is a great thing for a child because that structure and that consistency is there no matter what.
Exactly.
So, I mean, hopefully it's going the right way. If it's toxic, you're going to get some trauma out of that kid. But that's really what, and it's hard, man, because I've dealt with it. You know, those separate houses, you just have to, if you can co-parent, which is really hard nowadays in itself. But, you know, me and my ex-wife always co-parented very well, and that's why, you know, I believe that my sons came out the way that they did. But if you can co-parent, that's the best way to do it. Right. Like, but some people make it impossible. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, nah, shit. Man, look.
That's a whole show in its
I told mine from the beginning. You fuck with me, I'm calling the police.
Not if she don't do it first.
I ain't got no shame.
Not if she don't do it first. Listen.
I'm not going to jail for nobody. I'm not going to jail for nobody. I'm calling the police. I got records of everything.
Yeah. And a lot of ways the system is built up, and I've had it done to me before too.
It happens. Yeah.
Listen, I one time, and I didn't even want to name no names. I picked up my kid at a mutual spot. The court's designated in the whole nine. Nothing happened. Went off without a hitch. Right. Go home. Get a call from the police department, and they were like, she said that you threatened her. I said, well, damn. Yeah. You know what I mean? And now it's, you know, at the time I was young and in trouble. I was on probation. I got in trouble for the situation. And the only thing that helped me is the people right here at this corner store were like, no, we seen the whole thing. Nothing happened.
And right there, I would have started the restraining order. on the phone, I would have said, officer, can we start this restraining order? Because before we go to court, because fuck this.
I think I ordered a restraining order.
Yeah. This ain't going to be it. Yeah.
Let me get extra fries with that. It's like an order to restraining
number. Can I get the document number?
Yeah. Yo, and you got to be smart about things nowadays, man. And the good thing is we got cameras for everything. So listen,
you can't get away with nothing now. I mean, there's a a text or something. You just a text away from getting fucked up. You know what I mean? So
Yep, everything. And I'm not a person that talk on the phone either. So go ahead and text me everything that you're gonna do and say, because I'm calling the police.
got screenshots. Yeah, absolutely. Call it.
Listen, I will not snitch on a drug dealer, but a baby mama quick. If you I put you in jail and I'm coming to trial in a suit with a guilty,
I am a civilian, okay?
Right. That's how I look
You
at
are
it.
going to jail.
Yeah, that's how I look at it.
A straight innocent face. I'm gonna drop a tear and everything. I promise.
I do anything, I'm going to jail. So you got the wrong ones.
Fact.
All right, let's talk about the Jason Alden thing.
Oh boy.
Lord.
Just for anybody who doesn't know, he came out with a song. What's the song called? If it was in a small town,
Try this in a small town.
Yeah,
try this in a small town, and it's a very political song. And do y'all know who was it that got killed in front of that building where they shot the video? Because I think that's where most of the controversy is coming from.
What I thought all that footage was from January 6th.
Yeah, a lot of the footage.
The majority.
Yeah, but the building that he shot that video in front of.
Oh, gotcha.
I guess there was a murder.
Yeah,
There,
well, it was a lynching, they said, and it was from like 1927. So it was like
it was an okay.
It was like an old thing. They said it was like a mob of white people. I don't want.
Right, name no go home.
It was a mob of white people, and they said that they lynched a young kid for. I
didn't even know that.
I didn't know nothing about that either, and I didn't
even
really
know
like
that.
do my research on that part. But I wanted to, but like they just said that was what the news article and everything.
Right. Yeah, I seen the same thing, and I just listening to the song in general. Like, I guess my confusion is there a current event that happened?
No.
Why this? So that's where it's like, all right, we just stirring the pot here, I think, and trying to get views and bring in, because like if you notice, the mainstream media hasn't really been saying too much about race or any kind of stuff like that. I mean, behind the scenes, the whole movement's still going. You know,
like somebody behind the scenes is like, "Yo, we ain't heard about this in a minute. Let's
drop this real quick."
Or somebody like in the entertainment industry is just very savvy. Well, right, and they can say,
"Let's ride this."
Let's
ride this old.
I listened to the audio and I watched the video. I wanted to listen to the audio separately so I can make my own opinion on it.
Yeah,
I thought it just sounded like a regular country song to me. Like
no,
yeah, but
like the structure of a country song, like just the tuning, all that stuff.
And the thing that I'm saying is exactly what you're saying. And then so you can't blame the artist in some aspect, right? Because you view it's your brand that's going out. So he didn't write that song.
No,
other people wrote that song, and he didn't produce that video. So like a lot of the producers are gonna, he's gonna have insight. So I'm saying you have to blame them. But at the same time, though, I understand it, right? And y'all know I'm all for that, and I don't like the gaslighting and the whole nine. But that's still provoke, like, do what you're gonna do. Fuck y'all, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of how I feel.
I think it was I think it's a mean poke. I think it's a mean poke.
I think mixed with the video, it's a mean poke.
Yeah,
because
the song in general, he talks about something about well, he like the lyrics to the song is about like all the riots and things like that were happening, the looting, and then he goes something about I got a gun for Christmas from
he got a gun from his granddad.
You see what I'm saying? Like what? Like that's just like little shit that he's throwing out in the air. That's like, all right, I really think he's really picking and he wants people to pick up on that and get start that back again. And not maybe just him personally, but like I said, them record labels, they'll do anything for views and streams now. So. You know what I mean? They'll say, "Oh, take this route. Nobody's taken this route in a while. Yep. It's been dead. Let's bring this back up. Let's do it in front of this building. A little controversy."
And the thing is,
you know what I'm saying? Like they are like that. Man.
See, what he didn't realize, I bet you, is everybody's gonna take that video and in the context of that song, and that's gonna be the new KKK theme song. So they're gonna play this at every event.
I'll be honest with you. So this is the thing. I don't think
Donald Trump is playing it at the next rally, bro.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't think he cares though.
No, he doesn't.
I think he knew. I think he kind of knows. I think he wanted. I think he. I ain't gonna lie. He's suspect. He is suspected. He is suspected. I'll tell you that right now.
But see, and then at the same time, though, at some point we got to be like, yo, who gives a fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because
that is where I'm at with it.
Because and nobody is stopping. Like when you look at these, you're going to get them right now. When you look at these drill rappers and all that, like I can't really get down on the music and stuff, but I mean they talking about murdering.
They're talking about the murders they did.
It's ridiculous.
And then these things, so you know what? Let them have a shit, and then somebody just needs to come back and just be like, "Yo, you're a fucking weirdo."
I said if I'm a drill rapper right now, I'm flipping that. I'm taking that. Like come to my city or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, right.
Yo,
all the clout.
But I told them, I see the funniest meme because it was like, you know how the memes are like split. It has like two people, and it has the people. It says, try this in a small town, Jason Alden, and then it says small town, and it's like a meth head with a meth pipe. And it's like, it's extremely accurate though, because the small town that he was talking about, the meth labs are like.
He didn't bring that up at all.
No, he made it seem like they are just like straight Christian small town. Nothing happens there. Like you breed meth. Like
that's a meth breeder.
Like
right
not a meth head. You breed meth. Like you make meth there because there's not these busy things happening. Yeah. So it's like I said, I think it's gaslighting 100%. But
the audio had on YouTube at 2.2 million.
Yeah.
The video had 22.2.
Yeah, I seen that.
And I'm like,
and then the controversy just from everybody wants to talk to him. Everybody wants to do these things.
Yeah, it's the streams and
the album is the same name too.
Right. Man, listen, they know what they're doing, man.
Look,
when you type that in, that's what comes up. They getting hits.
It's gonna go gold before he drops the album.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Well, because he hit me with, I had seen something about it, but I don't pay attention too much to that shit. I'm like, all right, whatever, some more gaslighting shit. But once he told me, I'm like, okay, I typed in Jason Al, and it popped up that shit, and it was every fucking video. I said, well, shit, this is the one, I guess. I didn't even have to ask him, yo, you talking about this? Nope, it was that one.
They're just, at this point, they're getting desperate and just trying to think of ways to get streams and things like that. Because, remember I was telling you, Rob, when I was cutting your hair the other day, there's like creative people that like come up with different ways to market things. And so like they were going around on TikTok, and there was a guy going around on the street, and it looked like he was just going up to random people going, do you do music? And they would go, oh no, and no. And then he gets to one girl, and do you do music? She's like, yeah. He's like, can I play the song for you?
She's a fucking star.
And then already, you know what I mean? Like I like the song comes on, and I'm like, it looks like it's legit, like a regular video like that. But then I know enough to be like, because at the end they're like, you can stream this song on Spotify, blah 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 blah. So I go and look her up. Like she's got all these followers and all that. I mean, I'm like, this is how they're doing things. That's how they market stuff nowadays. Like so, even this that Charlie something. He's a producer and a performer and a singer and all that. But I came across one of his videos on TikTok, and he like opened this door, made this like noise with the door, and he's like, "Oh, I can make a song out of that." And then does some like Charlie shit. And what's that?
Charlie Puth?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so I'm invested in the video, and I'm like, oh man, he's making he's got the chorus, and he's making and then the song comes on afterwards, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. And so I go to Spotify, and I look at this motherfucker is super famous, bro, super famous. And I'm like, they are so smart. Like that's how they do it. You have to. That's when you market things, you have to make it look like you're not trying.
Well, let me ask you a question. Do you think this is a political ploy with this song? Because a lot of people are talking about the left and the right with it and everything like that. You think this is something?
Partially, yeah. I think it's streams, and then I think it's at the end of the day, it is a kind of a revenue thing because he knows what crowd to cater to.
Yeah, right.
So he wants to cater to that crowd, I think. But I mean, election time is coming.
That's definitely not getting played at no DNC convention.
No. Yeah.
But you have to look at it. It's like those those people are playing with the devil and the angel, right? They're like, well, I can make more money, and all I gotta do is take a few little backlash things. It's like, I'll take the money, right?
That 22 million people that watch that, they're not all fans of him. He only had like
because look at
1.74 million subscribers.
I searched a fourth of his name, and it popped up, and I watched the video, and then I suggested it to somebody else. I'm like, yo, watch that, tell me what you think about it, right? Exactly. And so that's how it's being spread about. And so like these people now are getting paid for views, and they're getting paid per stream or whatever the case may be. I don't really dig too much into it, but they're not dumb, and it's the marketing strategy.
And so that's just YouTube.
Yeah,
we're not counting all the other streams.
Right.
Now you have to think. how many people are going to show up to his shows, right? And it's going to be the people who feel about that song however they want to feel about it. Nobody who dislikes it is going to show up by no means, but the guys who are taking that and making it their own, whether he meant it to be a political or racial gaslighting song, those people are showing up anyway because that's what it feels like to them.
Yeah, but it was 100.
Hey, we making some try this in a small town T-shirts, yo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Look.
And if you don't show your face, you're gonna sell out.
I'm about to do that right on Etsy.
But hey, look, hey Rob, I'm gonna need 5% of that. Could you I'm sorry. Things are rough nowadays, man. I need 5%.
How did Will Ferrell do it? This is trademarked by Walker Bobby. And
that was a great thing ever.
I got you.
Yeah, we're trademarking it right now. If you make any T-shirts, you gotta get 5. But
it was the podcast that made it blow up.
You said it there. So
yeah, man. That's
why I blew up. Yeah.
Listen, it's crazy, and it's crazy how much influence, even on our side, or our culture, how much influence a song could have. I'm telling you, you're gonna see a lot of people who are on that. That extremist ways, that's going to be their theme song. Yeah. They're going to play that shit when they got their trucks out and their shirts
we
off.
Definitely going to hear it. We should hear it pretty soon with a goddamn flag on the back of the truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's streaming.
The Rebel truck.
Yep. The Rebel truck, though. Yeah. Not just the flag. They're going to have the Confederate flag waving in the wind.
Yeah, that's a fact.
A Donald Trump sticker and
usually a Trump 2020 sticker.
No, fuck Cuomo, too, though. We're in New York State, so fuck Cuomo. You see?
Yeah, but either or, it'll be a Trump 2020 because they didn't want to change the sticker. They were, you know what I mean? Like they
hold on to that motherfucker
when they won.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Now, to be honest with you, I don't know. His fans are kind of, man. They go balls to the wall, man. They updating, so they 2024 like like they are
the new merch
on it. Yeah, man. They really
new
are.
drop. That's a fact.
Yeah. They got some. They got
pre-ordered
some
that.
different. Yeah. They got some different drive.
For real, yo.
Shit.
I don't even play with the political.
Nah, I'm gonna leave them alone.
Y'all keep that.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with me.
I'm an independent. Anyway.
What y'all want to talk about next? Which one of those?
What we got on there?
Let's. I don't care.
So I mean, you could talk about the Bronny thing.
Let's stab.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, but then we just got to be careful about the language we use with that because it'll look like we're giving medical advice. But at the same time, we can talk about that. Bronny James with the cardiac arrest, right?
I would ask a question about you. You have teenage children, right? They're athletes, correct? Or they have done athletic.
Yeah. And some.
How do you feel about that situation? Because like a lot of people have been bringing that conversation up about student athletes and the what they had to do for training and all that stuff. And
no, I'm saying so naturally, right? And then this just brings me back to my military stuff. Like and especially in the military, like you get pushed to your limits to where you think your mind is like, I can't do this, right? And you find out that your body is. So what happened to him is the rarest thing that you'll ever find at that age. Like these kids are.
It's happening more and more.
It's happening more and more.
We're looking around and we're seeing these athletes that are just in great shape.
I'm not throwing out medical advice, and I don't claim to be a PhD, but from a person experiencing himself having a stroke at 37, and at that time I was actually going to the gym 6 times a week. I had been in the military for 14 years at the time. Pushed my body to extreme limits. After I received a so-called immunization, right? And then right after that, my blood pressure started going sky high. And then I had a minor stroke in which put my limbs into, I forget what they call it when you get the pins and needles, but it's basically like my limbs would fall asleep and I was getting these crazy headaches and all these things happen after that specific point. And so with Bronny, that was also a thing with him. So it's nobody at 18.
Well,
I mean, it could be a phenomenon.
It's all like when I had I don't even want to say it, the big C word. When I had that, my blood pressure was stroke level. When I went to the emergency room, because I couldn't taste and all that stuff. And when I went there, they looked at me, and they always do this anyways because I have high blood pressure anyways. But that day, that lady was like,
why are you alive?
Man, like, your shit is like stroke level. Like it was like fucking 200, like it was nuts, bro. So it does elevate your blood pressure, and obviously that can lead to cardiac things with your heart, and so it seems to be
trend.
Yeah, it seems to be a lot of the young athletes and very healthy people are just dropping over with cardiac arrest just out of nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So I mean, it's like, and I'm not a conspiracy person. I know he dives into the conspiracy lately, but
I got a conspiracy on this.
I'm not. I'm not a conspiracy person. Yes. I'm a person. I'm a person where you have to show me facts, right? And if you call me an asshole enough times, or if enough people call me an asshole, I'm gonna believe that I'm an asshole. I'm like, all right, I'm an asshole. I get it because so many people have told me that's a fact, right? Or that's so many assumptions that have led to that one thing, and that can make up a fact to me. When I see this and statistically it's happened, and then I watch how, and I got to be careful where I speak on certain things, but when I watched in an organization that I participated in, and more what happened to me was happening to these younger guys at my age,
being forced.
Who I knew were monsters. Like you could put these dudes in a jungle with a toothpick and a rubber band and nothing but socks, and they're coming out of it and as healthy as they went in it. You see what I'm saying? So like when you start showing me stuff like that, and I'm speculating, right? And I'm assuming, but that's enough to build at least one fact for me. And I'm like, gotta be pointing towards this type of thing.
I don't want to say I'm a doctor, but I did Google.
Well, you're almost
what a cardiac arrest is, because I thought it was a heart attack at first, but from what I read on Google, and I'm not going to quote it correctly, but it was when your heart skips a beat and it's off beat, and it basically stops pumping.
Right.
And they said that, and again, this was the article said this was that that happens a lot when you're strenuously moving your heart a lot, when you're exercising a lot. So that's why I asked about the athlete situation, because you somebody like Bronny James, he's working out, you know what I mean, constantly throughout the day, every day.
So it's
you know what I mean.
So
like,
it's very rare, right? So like you have to kind of look at things that are more extreme than, and the only thing I can give experience to is the military. So like even when you go to like special forces training, and hundreds of these guys, go through these things, and you are pushing people to extreme levels, to the point where they've had no sleep. They've had like the lowest amount of food that you can actually give to a person. Plus, you're putting that type of physical strain on them.
Right.
So, does it happen? Yes. Is it rare as shit? Absolutely. At his age.
Right. That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like now, if you're putting somebody in that situation with a pre-existing condition, and or maybe some factors, maybe hereditary factors, or
and that's the thing I don't think we don't consider is like we don't know what's going on in their personal life. We have no idea if Bronny was born with some health issues. You know what I mean? Like we just can't jump to the conclusion that.
Absolutely.
But
I'm ready to give you that conspiracy thing.
I know, no, Rob, because I'm here for it, because I'm kind of on the conspiracy side.
I'm here for it.
I'm not on board with it, but apparently another player a year ago had this same thing happen to him at USC.
Yeah.
At USC.
At the same school.
Well, I see that they mandate that you have to have the vaccine to go there.
A lot of people are saying
the V word. The V word.
They saying that has something to do with it. I'm not on that conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't really know, but
look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm leaning towards that. But
they said the question is, they ask what the question is, what's going on with USC? Is there something at USC now?
Right.
That's the conspiracy. And I'm like,
right.
I don't know about that.
Maybe it was just the type that they got. Like I said, call me if enough people call me an asshole, I'm gonna start to believe that I'm an asshole.
You just gotta.
You see what I'm saying? And then and the reason why I use that, because a lot of people have called me an asshole, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm just an asshole, right? And I just have to accept that. I don't give a shit, right? Yeah. But and you know what I mean? Just you got to look at things like
so like even like Jamie Foxx, right? Like that whole thing. What did he have, a stroke? Or
that's what they said. I think.
Yeah, I think they said he had a stroke and he was gone for a while, and then somebody said he came back, he was a clone and all this other shit. But yeah. So a lot. Yeah, oh no, because the conspiracies get deep.
This is why I don't do conspiracies. Like they cloned a whole actor.
Oh yeah, no, Haven,
out
this
here
is
living his life.
Yeah, no, they're working on cloning too.
But what influence does Jamie? Like he can't unlock the fucking Vatican or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
this is my take on the whole Jamie Foxx thing, right? So I feel that Jamie Foxx, because it is getting weird, right? A lot of people did say that his situation could possibly be like, that was one of the things that people were talking about, was it could possibly be the big V that he got. Because a lot of the actors, they're making them do it in Hollywood to be able to work. They've made a lot of them do it. And I don't know if that's the case with him, but I do know like whatever is going on with Jamie Foxx, it's getting weird, right? Because he used to be like the greatest actor, just like fucking Oscar fucking winning fucking Ray and all this other shit. And we didn't see nothing from him for a while. Right. And then all of a sudden he's having these problems, and then they drop a movie where he plays a pimpin'. And I'm like,
That's about a clone.
We've seen these kind of things a few times though. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like he comes from all of that to now he plays a pimp in this new movie coming out. Like I just feel like maybe it's something like they're like, yo, letting him know his place. Oh. If you're not trying to be down with if you're not trying to be down with what we're doing, because maybe he's rebelling, maybe he doesn't want to be a part of the Hollywood
that
scene.
Lends into this conspiracy theory I seen about this on TikTok earlier, because they were breaking down an interview that he had on, I think, Steve Harvey, where he was talking about the story with Oprah and how Oprah.
I've been seeing that.
That's tough because it could the context of it could be.
It seemed kind of weird the way that like this girl was breaking it down, and I was like, this seemed kind of weird. But if there was a whole bunch of Hollywood people dressed in suits telling me, hey, young black man, you got this. Well, just do it this way. I would think that would be kind of weird.
Well, no, I mean, look, you can look at it as a mentor thing. Like Oprah could have took Jamie Foxx to her house and said, "Here, we got all these special people here, and these are some good mentors. You should listen to these people." And you know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
that's the caveat logical. Was she took him to Quincy Jones's house.
Quincy Jones, that's what I meant.
And they said Quincy Jones is known for.
He is known for a lot of different. Yes. Yeah. So and that's where some of this is like, you know, it kind of gets a little weird with it. I try not to get too deep into that stuff. Yeah. I just know that something isn't right about his career at the moment, right?
You feel?
Yeah, I mean, because just look at it though. Look at it. Sense. He where has he been the past so many years? The stuff that he's done has been like very low budget. Yeah. You know what I mean? Too, like if he's came out with something, it's been like very low budget, a Netflix release. Yeah. Like Jamie Foxx isn't just one of those guys. Like he's way bigger than that.
True that.
And so like I said, we've seen it before. We've seen it with Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy was like in all the great movies coming up, and then all of a sudden you don't hear anything from for the longest, and then he comes back and he's playing Dolomite.
Right.
Now I'm not trying to be that guy, but you know what I mean.
Dolomite though, that was fun.
But
that was.
I did too, but you have to look at the way it's being portrayed, right. and like Will Smith, right? What happened when he did that shit and he came back? What was he in the movie? He was a slave.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. And so maybe they're just coincidences. Yeah. I think maybe it's a coincidence, but who knows? Maybe they're keeping people in check.
With the Hollywood know your place thing.
Yeah.
I do think there's something to that, so I'm not.
Yeah. Well, but I think Kanye proved it when, you know what I'm saying?
And I think Dave Chappelle proved it.
Yes.
When he took
he
from that money.
Okay, so then if we're going to say anybody proved it, let's stick with Dave Chappelle, because I can't really get behind Kanye's way of living life. Like this is not.
No, but I'm not speaking like that. I'm just saying like we seen like they took everything from him. Like right. You say anything that we don't like, we just take everything from him.
They gave I don't know what. They gave a little back. They were like, here.
Right.
Feel bad. You know what I mean? But
the Dave Chappelle thing.
He's back. You know what I mean?
Right. But the Dave Chappelle thing, like he had spoke about it a long time ago. Right. You know what I mean? Right. If you don't want to get down with the program, then we're gonna make you look like you're crazy and whatever. And I believe him. Yeah, I believe him. And so I look at that with like Jamie Foxx and Martin Lawrence, the same thing. Remember when they said he was crazy running out the street saying somebody was trying to kill him? And, you know what I mean?
I forgot
it's
about that.
It's a lot. And where's he at now? You know what I mean? Like they don't do.
Yeah. But think about what he had to do before that. He had to dress as a woman and everything.
Right.
But I mean, just think of it. So look at our government with all the money. Shady shit happens in between there, right? There's little things. Like, you mean to tell me that where people were dealing with hundreds and then even billions of dollars?
Right.
You mean to tell me there ain't nothing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like wherever you find an extreme amount of money like that, you are gonna find corrupt people, groups,
right?
And there's gonna be somebody who is in on everything,
right?
Almost like the mafia, right?
Well, they say that the music industry is worse than the streets.
Oh,
they say like it's worse than like the people that turn your back on you, like worse than the streets.
When you're dealing with that much money, and in any capacity, you have to fear for your life if you're on the wrong side of those people who you're trying to mess up that money, or you're not getting down with how they want to make that money. If you're, I mean, it's not, that to me is not a conspiracy, because I just look at things as like either like other countries or this country, right?
And I'm sorry, y'all, I'm just like wild with the conspiracies lately, man. and because it's just interesting.
Brandon does this when he's getting.
Well, because it's just interesting,
sinister,
and like I like to look at both sides, though. You know what I'm saying? I like to look at all the different angles, because I like think about like what's logical, right? Because we don't know any of these situations. Like we don't know like any of the information, like the real information about a lot of these situations. But like, what's the logical thing? I try to think of that first, and then I'll think of like, what else is possible? Because you know what I mean. If you can think about it, it's possible, right? So and it's it has to happen at some point, right? So like when I start to think about like the Gilly thing. Gilly's son got killed. Gilly the king, Gilly the kid, whatever one you want to call him, right? His son got murdered. Right. And they just a couple months ago signed $100 million contract.
It was like a year
and
ago.
was it okay? Yeah, I was gonna say it's been. So this is the thing, right? With that, right? Well, a lot of people have echoed. Different people in the industry have echoed to go to the next level. You have to make a sacrifice, and there's people that are in.
You talking about the Illuminati thing, kind of? I mean,
I don't like to use that language because it gets to be very clownish. Because at the same time, like there's literally people that say this, and I don't know if they're saying it for clickbait or whatever the deal is, right? But there's a video of Wallow. Because Gilly and Wallow had the podcast. Mm-hmm. There's a video of Wallow talking to a content creator that they had, and he goes, and he's dead ass serious. This is right in the interview, and he's like, "Listen, has anybody came and hollered at you about that next level yet?"
He was talking
like,
to
has anybody came? Like, what's the? And this was a little bit ago. You know what I'm saying?
He was talking to Desi Banks, and he was asking him that. Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people say would come with that next level. Like, I know it sounds like a stretch, but like there has to be somebody who worships Satan, who does things that are evil, that like to take control over people. There has to be that somewheres, right? There has to be somebody out here that is doing that.
No, there's actually groups.
And that's why there has to be, because there's too many people saying these things. And so what is the next level if $100 million ain't the next level? Right? And not saying that they know who they're sacrificing. Like they that's not how that works. So if you were to be in that situation, they're not going to say you pick your sacrifice. Like nobody would do that.
Well,
they want to hit you where it hurts. Right. They want to hit you where it hurts, because that's the control over you after that. Right? And so, like I said, $100 million. What is that not the next level?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I just like to leave that for people to just to think about.
Make your own determination about what happened.
Well, because there's a very logical thing too, right? In which I think is possible. He just got murdered in Philly. Philly is a very dangerous place.
Dangerous city.
He didn't seem like he was all the way in the streets, but he seemed like he had a little foot in.
Maybe a foot in, yeah.
Gilly was a major dude out there in the streets, robbing and stealing. Right. So who knows, right? Like that's a very logical thing that he just got killed out there. Right. So I will roll with that. But we have to look at the other evidence here of what people are saying.
Well, in the
you got $100 million of contracts, and these coincidences happened, and and they played a video of them, and I know it can be taken out of context, but these are coincidences, right? They played the video of when Gilly and Wallow were signing their contract. And they had the John Legend song playing, and this is "I'd make sacrifice" and blah 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 blah. And I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying.
I mean,
and to be like, well, why would people just throw that out there and be so blunt about it? The thing about it is that they say that they treat the world as a stage. Right? The world is a stage. That's the conspiracy about all these bigger groups and their sign language, the way they do. They treat the world as a stage. So these things are happening right in front of you, and
it's like it's an in.
I was with you on a couple of it. I mean, on a little bit of it, but I don't know if I could go that far.
Yeah, I think it's very far. It's very far to go, because I don't see him as that kind of dude. But
Right.
Is $100 million the next level, and what does it take to get it? Why isn't more people got those deals to go to those next levels? Like, do you see people fall off after a while, and you think that they just fall off? Oh, these are very talented people.
Right.
Eddie Murphy,
Right.
Martin Lawrence. These are very talented people. Why haven't they made it to the next level? Why aren't they our Denzels?
I think it's the same. I think it's going to be the same question. It's always going to be, how much are you going to sell your soul for some money? So some of these people that you're talking about, they wouldn't do it. You know what I mean? But you got to have the money to be able to not to do that. That fuck you money. You know what I mean? And there's some
or
people
know that they have enough.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because some people just get greedy.
Right.
You know what I mean? They just want more. But if you know that you have enough and you're good with your money.
But there's always going to be that one person that's just going to be like, I'll do it.
Because you want more. But I'm saying, like, even look at it as far as the street. I've seen niggas do weird things for $100. So
That's what I'm saying.
You're talking about $100 million.
We sell our soul for just a job.
Right. There's a lot of.
I've seen some sinister shit for anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you mean to tell me that somebody sick is not out there with $100 million being like,
hell yeah,
let's play with the minions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
some evil type shit.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't put it past them, but I have to base my shit, like you said originally, off logic. So
and then there's another part to it too. There has to be somebody out there who slipped through the cracks.
Right.
Yeah. There has to be somebody that didn't have to take that deal that is protected that slipped through the cracks. There has to be that somewhere. And I look at like people like 50 Cent. He seems like he would be that dude that would slip through the cracks.
Yeah,
and you know what I'm saying? Because he plays that bully part and he calls out things. Like he'll say when things aren't funny, like when some things that happen with Jay-Z and Beyonce and different. He's been vocal about it. So I think they're a little scared of him a little bit.
Yeah, they definitely.
But at the same time, they just kind of let him squeak through for whatever reason. I don't know what the case is, but I think he might be one of those people that kind of squeak through. And who knows? Like Gilly and Wallow could have been one of them too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It can go so many. There's a lot of different. You know what I mean? There's a lot of different angles to take. You just have to go with what's logical. I feel like, but you know, the conspiracy and the content in me has to just let it out for you guys, man.
The internet has all the conspiracies for you. Whatever
my
you
God,
need, they got it for you.
Yeah. What else we have on the conspiracies, guys?
You already know
they're all conspiracies.
That was a big conspiracy.
We thought the Obama and Obama's cook.
Might as well get to that one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So Obama's cook showed up. They found him dead in some type of small pond or a small lake in the back of like Obama's house. He was like doing some paddling.
No, I think it was on the same road. It was in the same neighborhood or something.
Yeah, I think it was in the back of. I know they said it was in the back of Obama's house.
Yeah, it was something.
But it probably was a big.
I forgot what they call it exactly.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Me too. But I guess he was doing the paddle boat thing.
Yeah.
And so I guess what the red flags that jump up to me are they found him with no life jacket on.
Right.
And there was parts of the water that were like 8 feet. Right. So and I know other parts that were higher.
Right.
And so what they did was they ended up resurfacing the video of him like swimming like a goddamn Olympic champ out there. I swear to God, he was in a pool swimming like
he was practicing. That was at a practice, but he still was swimming better than like
absolutely.
So what y'all think? What do you think? The nigga made like a bad meat or something? Nobody.
Or did he see some stuff? Did he?
You know what the conspiracy is. You know what they're saying.
Which one? Because I know maybe I don't know.
Well, they say another sacrifice happened.
They
but for who,
chef?
Yeah,
I don't know about that. Stupid. Who said that?
Well, that
nigga probably could cook though. If he could swim like that, he could probably make a badass.
He helped him make the honey beer, like the honey beer that Obama has. He helped.
Obama has his own beer.
Yeah,
he sells it.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. We have an expert.
Oh, they stole his recipe, so they didn't have to cut him off.
The conspiracy is that he was writing a tell-all book that was going to tell a lot of the Obama's like.
Obama and Michelle and they're having motherfucking
darkest secrets, so they had to get him out.
I didn't hear that. Rob coming through with the conspiracy. I'm here for it.
But they equate them to the Clintons. So
Right.
Clintons has been in this conspiracy theories for years.
Absolutely.
Now.
I wouldn't see. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe. Right. I
No,
can't.
they've definitely been in the.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's no way I can like equate
I don't
fucking
equ- I don't
Obama
equate
and the
them.
Clintons.
Yeah,
like
I don't
these
equate
niggas
them.
been doing some shit. Like Obama and them, I could see them having some shit, but
I might
they
have
ain't
been
been in the spotlight. as
influenced by
much.
some right wing people, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because like they just talked about Obama. And
Well, I think they're equally fucked. To be honest with
Oh, I'm
you.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I'm just.
I think
saying,
one just appears a little better.
right, and that's what I mean. So like we haven't seen as much from Obama. I wouldn't be surprised if the chef was cooking up, white folks for him or something. Like they was out there catching hillbillies and he was spicing them and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But like
Jeffrey Dahmer.
But as far as like between them and the Clintons have been in the spotlight a little more.
But who says though that this dude was coming out with a tell-all book?
Well,
I
this is
didn't
what
see
the
that.
conspiracy says on the internet. I
Okay,
looked it up,
okay.
but part of it is because one of the chefs that was a head chef during the Clinton and the Bush era, he died and he drowned in like a little bit of water.
Well, a lot of times,
It was in the sink. It was like he was shaving and then he just fell
drowned
over
in a
and drowned.
puddle.
I have no idea. What was
They said they found him in like a shallow, like
Yo.
a little canyon trail river.
That makes
he was
it-
camping, and
That makes it funny as hell. Is this nigga?
Jesus.
It's not that he
So they-
drowned
they, like,
too.
they
Is that he
sacrificing all the
drowned in a
chefs.
little bit of water?
they say, yo, if you see a Obama personal chef job ad, yo, don't take that.
yeah.
I don't know.
You put your life on the line.
I still might try because that dude was probably making some money. I mean, they can't all die. If two died, then we got a fucking situation on our hands.
Yeah, no, I
It's
feel
getting
you.
weird after that.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna be on guard, but I can make this nigga some spaghettios out this
Sacrificing though,
world.
sacrificing the chef though is very
Yo,
strange.
listen, it's-
That's just a
everybody's
big
getting
stretch.
sacrificed now, bro.
Yeah,
I
well,
guess.
I guess.
Yeah,
That's
but
why
I
I'm
mean,
trying to be
you
cool.
got to think of him. He's a personal chef. That cat cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You
Yeah.
got to rely on him 3 times a day. So
Yeah.
he's probably close.
Close.
He done seen some shit.
Yeah.
Obama,
Yo, listen,
Obama,
that- I was
Obama
like,
wife
yo.
walking around with all leather and a whip on that bitch. He know exactly
Yeah,
what's
he knows
going on.
salsa, yeah.
Michelle in there controlling shit.
Yeah, they probably be swinging.
Yeah,
That's a
I'm
fact.
telling you.
Yeah.
He know all their side pieces.
Right,
He know all the
She keep him
information.
as a gimp.
Yeah,
he
that's
be
funny.
home with full leather on. And just,
Yeah, no, I didn't hear that conspiracy, but I just I
We
looked
definitely
at
just took it
the
too
raw
far because we went-
information. I mean, yeah, no, I guess I don't know if it would be sacrificing a chef. That seems a little weird, but
Yo, I don't want to disrespect him like that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, no,
he
but
seemed like a
it's-
cool dude. But like,
Right.
yeah, that's what the internet's saying. I'm just,
No, I hear you.
reporting what the internet.
absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, look, I'm still on the conspiracy side. I just don't know if if it. I like I said, it could be the he knows some shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Never
Obama
mind.
had that nigga whacked.
But part of it was he didn't have the straps on for the paddleboard.
Right.
He didn't have the
no
life jacket.
safety.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! What if he hit Michelle when Obama wasn't home and the nigga had him?
He might
fall?
have. He might have.
Because
might
would
have.
you turn down Michelle Obama? I don't know. I mean, like she's.
Well,
you know,
I heard that he gave her herpes and then gave Obama her. No, I'm sorry. I'm just kidding, y'all. That was a joke. That was a joke.
I gonna
I
roast
want to
him.
know who
I get sued by
was the
Obama.
911 caller.
That'd be cool.
Because at first they said that he was by himself. Then they released that there was an actual 911 caller.
Somebody-
that was a female that called.
Right, and she was describing it was a 40-year-old black male. And
He couldn't get back on the board and she couldn't help him and stuff like
Right.
that. But they haven't released who it is.
Right. Yes, that is. Yeah.
Might be Michelle.
It could be. It could be. But they say Michelle's a man.
Oh Lord,
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. I went too far. They did say that though. They
Hey,
did.
look,
They said she's a man.
I
mean, I think I don't believe it, but
I draw a firm line. Disrespect to black women. I gotta stay out of that. I gotta stay out of that. That is Brandon.
No, it's all me. Content over everything. Come sue me,
COE,
Obama.
COE.
Come sue me, Obama. And
Oh.
we'll make this right. We'll make this right. I don't care. Yeah, and I'll get some notoriety from it. Yeah. Come sue me, Obama. I dare you. I dare you. Come fuck with me.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, I don't want no beef.
Yeah, no, come straight for me. Come straight for me. That's
See the
right.
men in black walking around here. I ain't got time for it.
I know, right? Hey, look, them niggas gonna come on. Hey, man, I'm sorry. Whatever we can do to work this out.
Yeah, this nigga's confiscating phones
Yeah,
and
I'm
everything.
good,
This
I'm
nigga,
good.
you gonna wake
Nah.
up this nigga Brandon and drowned by an eyedropper.
Shit, I got
The water keep getting smaller and smaller every time.
Local barber has a
Yeah, no, he was washing his face and he just fell asleep
Man,
in the
look.
motherfucking shit. Like,
I got 911 on speed dial. This Apple Watch. Hey,
Hey,
I'll call it quick.
that nigga got Secret Service on speed dial. 911 ain't getting that call, nigga. I'm telling you,
they gonna block
they
that.
jamming all this shit in here. The light's gonna go out. Barbershop burned down
Matter of
somehow.
fact, they don't heard you already, bro.
I hope so. Look, content over everything, Rob. We talked about this. We talk content over everything. I'll sacrifice my life for this show.
Oh, look at Gillies.
I'll sacrifice my life for this show, man. I'll give it all.
Well,
You
Brandon,
went out like
pop
a real
off.
one, yo.
Yeah, for it to pop off, man, I'll give it
Listen,
all.
Brandon, if they coming to you for the next level, nigga, don't sacrifice me.
Hey,
I got it.
Oh, yeah, don't make a sacrifice.
Hey, man.
Hey, you had anybody visit you lately?
Yo, this nigga Brandon, all of a sudden you gonna cut on to a brand new set and everything. He was like, yo, my brother couldn't make it.
Yeah, no, we're sorry, man. Yeah,
My
yeah.
brother couldn't make it.
Yeah,
This nigga-
so release the balloons.
Yo, we ain't
Look,
shit.
and then look, be wiping my eyes with the money. Just mad exactly. Sitting here in a Versace robe, wiping my eyes with money. Oh, I told you.
So we gonna do this show in the memory of him.
yeah.
This nigga, fuck you. We ain't shit.
Nah, but on some real shit, if y'all hear me, y'all can take one of my cousins that I don't like.
Hey.
You can take one of them niggas that don't act right. We'll sacrifice them.
100 million. 100
Look,
million.
Rob, I'm just
the
gonna
sacrifice.
yeah, you're just gonna throw that out there. If you want to take anybody, go ahead and take one of my cousins that was
Yeah, go ahead and say the name then.
one of them niggas that was talking.
No, say the name. Say specifically.
You say the name?
Yeah.
Oh no, I got a list of them. Nah, I'm just kidding. I love my family. I love them.
100 million.
Hey. He dropped 100 million on me. I might have to sacrifice one of my cousins.
Yeah, no, I hear you,
know what
man.
mean?
It's a
Yo,
thought.
Yeah, but listen, the shit sound fucked up until a nigga with a suitcase, or I mean, not even a suitcase, with a motherfucking Suburban pull up all your money in back, and you look at him, you know what, he's
Like-
gonna die at some time.
Like
I'm take care of his mama.
I'm gonna be trying to negotiate. I'm like, listen, what if you maybe just cut a foot off or something like that? Let me get a few mil off of that. You know what I mean? We ain't got to take the whole thing. Cut a foot, cut a leg or something like that. You know, let's maybe torture him a little bit or something. You know, I'll take that. You know, why do we have to take a life all the time?
Don't start trying to hustle like with the weed dealer. Like, yo,
That's I'm trying to work out a
what you got
deal.
for this- what you got for
yeah.
this ankle, bro?
Yeah. So for $5 million, what can we get?
just paralyzes that.
So if you take a hand off, you know what I mean? Make it look like they were in a bad car accident.
Yeah.
That's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
makes sense. I mean,
I take care of him on the back end. Yeah.
Right. That's all.
Yeah.
at
That's
least
all.
you asked for you just took the 100 million though. You know?
Yeah.
Can we negotiate?
I wanted to
this
go.
now?
No. Well, I can't just leave all that money on the table. I
No,
can't leave $100 million on the table.
No, listen, because then when that motherfucking car payment or that rent bill come up next month, you're gonna be like, God damn, I almost had
Maybe.
$100 million.
Yeah, I almost was like the
$100
richest
million.
person in the fucking.
This nigga ain't helping me pay my goddamn
Nah.
rent, so I might as well,
Nah.
you know, he had a
Start to
good
reconsider
funeral.
shit after a while. Like,
Yeah,
he want to call him up.
nigga, I'm letting doves go.
Send my
everything,
nigga
nigga.
out. We gonna send my nigga out.
He said
Right.
he let the dust-
I'm letting doves go. And
Listen,
They're gonna have the horse with the carriage. and
did you
everything.
guys see that one video where they were at a funeral and they were holding the dove,
I already know
and
what
the one dude went to release the dove, and that dove just fell. I was like, "What's going on?" And so obviously, I go back and I pick the video apart and I slow it down. This nigga is squeezing the dove, like you could just tell that shit is about to burst in his hand. Nigga squeezing the fuck out the dove. That nigga let it go. That shit went.
that dove been
I was like,
dying.
oh my god, yeah, that thing died of fucking what is it? I don't know.
Suffocation.
Yeah, suffocation. That's what I was looking for. Suffocation. Yeah,
Yeah, this nigga.
That's a fact.
that's funny.
Yeah, them big old like railroad working hands, niggas. For real.
Yeah, nah, he's a fat nigga. He's a fat nigga. That nigga was trying to kill it so he can go ahead and make some
He was
bird
about
stew.
to fry something. up.
Yeah. That nigga was about to make a stew out of that
He
motherfucker.
ain't never had
He
a
had his
fried
good-
dove.
Yeah, he had his grandma's recipe. He was like, yeah, I got
It's that
I'm
dove
about to-
wings.
Yeah.
Fucking
It's
stupid.
Dove's
up
fried.
later on in
100
there.
million, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
What else we got, guys? More conspiracies. Well, this isn't really a conspiracy, actually.
This is
This is a conspiracy. So, hey, you knew a little bit more about what it was.
Well, we all only know a little bit. Are you talking about the fucking alien thing?
Yeah. Just lay it out for
I don't know.
them
Well,
and me.
So basically, they had the congressional hearing on, I think it was 3 whistleblowers. I can't really tell
Right.
you too much about the other 2, but
Oh, they were whistleblowers? I didn't
Oh, yeah,
catch that part.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
no, they're
That's the crazy part.
Oh, okay. I didn't
So,
catch that part.
And the one main one was I'll probably get his title wrong, but he was a top Air Force intelligence officer, which means that he's like the highest classification that you can get next to, Congress, basically, or just within there, like top secret and all that shit clearance. And he's saying that there has been, they call them UAPs now. It's like something phenomenon or whatever. They're not calling them unidentified objects. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I mean, ultimately, it's UFO. So it's UFO hearing, and he's saying that there has been crashes, and in those crashes, the pilots of those crashes, and he's only giving very vague information out loud. But he's telling Congress that, behind closed doors, I can
give
this to you. So basically, what he's saying is there is an actual unit, like a special forces unit.
Right.
Let's put it in that type of context. That actually goes out and recovers these crashes when they happen, the rarity that they do happen. But there has been ships recovered, and there has been pilots of those ships recovered that are non-human.
Right, and that's what I was going to say. That was the big mention there.
That's
was
crazy.
the things that were recovered in these crashes. The pilots that were recovered were non-human. They made specific to that, and I'm like, okay, so they're just telling us at this point, like
Yeah.
And another thing is that they were, so like one of the congressmen had asked him, were these non-human things hostile? Right. So they must have caught them at some point, not deceased, like alive, right? And so the way that he put it was kind of sketchy to me, because he wasn't really saying, he almost said it like somebody who was, calling the police because somebody push them. You know what I'm saying? Like he was like, well, I've had some colleagues that have been injured. You know what I mean? And he's kind of saying it in that context, but maybe not that the thing injured him, but they were injured during whatever it may have been. I don't know. Maybe the thing gave him something because they touched him or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So maybe that's just what it is. But I mean, the dude was keeping it very vague, because he said he did fear for his life, and he feared for some of his colleagues' life.
Okay, I didn't know
There has
that.
been threats
I really didn't.
Yeah.
So the clips that I seen, it looked like that they were just not interviewing. It looked like they were on the stand for whatever, like the person worked for the government,
Right.
and which I'm sure he
So
did,
he
but
used
I
to.
didn't know it was a whistleblowing kind of thing. Like he's there telling.
So there's three of them in different departments, and he did and he will disclose all of the shit that he knows, but he can't do it in the open forum because he's scared of the retaliation,
Right.
whatever the case may be. And like I said, I'm not a conspiracy person. I can only go off facts. This is a person in a high position.
So this is proof, though. I guess some proof. We can't just be like, all right, but this is, I guess, just more information leading us to say that there is some other forms of life other than what us.
But also what you see, and that it's true, is that Congress is actually sticking together. In that they're not playing sides. They're not trying to trump what this dude asked and what they said and all those things. And so what they're saying is that this organization that recovers or has this contact and have found these things out, they have found maybe not a clause or something in the rules, but even outside of rules, they're bypassing Congress. So Congress does not know about it. So that 1 trillion or that 2 trillion whatever dollars that was missing, or whatever it may have been, out of the budget for the United States, is actually funds that are not handled appropriately, that may have gone missing. Right, they're going towards that program.
$2 trillion.
And
That's crazy.
And there's a lot of people in the in certain type of branches of the military that said that they were out in Saudi Arabia or wherever where an actual crash had happened. They didn't know what this thing was, but it was hovering, and they were just there to secure. And when the people came to relieve to actually go on site, they had American accents, and they were dressed in all the high-speed gear that you would see special forces with, but they were driving up-armored, F-350s and shit like that. And they weren't allowed to say what was going on. They had to be debriefed, and the whole nine around that shit. So listen,
the whole thing is very deep, though. I'll be honest with you, because they estimated that there's 17 billion other planets. Like us, because if you look at us in the whole spectrum, we're like a grain of sand,
absolutely,
compared to the whole galaxy when you look at it all. And then they estimated for the other life forms out there to be 50,000 years ahead of us in technology.
Damn.
So, and then 50,000 isn't even a lot when you're talking about 17 billion other planets, and then as far as like
And there's not even telling
the
what
beginning
black
of time and things like that. So
and it's not even telling what's beyond black holes. Like nobody has traveled through a black hole.
But they can
only guesstimate what it is. So.
there is gotta be like other forms out there that are way past us and definitely spying on. Like I get a little creeped out, man, when I get into this a little bit because it's a real thing. Yeah. We would be so dumb to think that there's not other life forms on. Like, I mean, have you ever seen like will they show you like the galaxy thing?
Yeah.
Like will they show you like all the different planets and stuff like that, and then they zoom out and it just this planet we're a grain of salt.
Yeah. Right.
And it's like
but see the thing is now is, and so like let's look on the other side of it. So are they all the way wrong for hiding this thing? Because now just think, right? People, if you tell a motherfucker a zombie is outside right now, Americans are gonna loot everything around here.
Facts.
Fuck the law. We're not. It's the end of times. If you tell people that they're not the only ones here, and there's things outside of here, the conspiracy theorists, the people who just panic for no reason, they're gonna run rampant. They're gonna do all these things. They're gonna pledge to the aliens. They're gonna kill themselves.
Can I let you know my conspiracy on this?
Uh-oh.
No, so no.
See how he dips his chin? This is how I know.
ready.
I mean, he's my brother, and I've been, I know he goes like,
because
I appreciate you telling me that.
yes.
Here, he gets sinister as fuck.
No, so I feel like, you know how it is with like phones and like the way technology has been advancing. They can't throw it all on us at one time. Like they were able to do all this stuff years ago, like the iPhone, FaceTime, all that. They were able to do that stuff back in the 90s. They just couldn't give it to us all right away because obviously it wasn't cheap enough for us all to have at that point, and we didn't have any idea how to use it. Right. Like remember, like when you first got a phone, like you didn't know what was all these different things in the general spot, like where the general settings in your phone. We didn't know any of that stuff. Right. Yeah. So it's like they had to like walk us into it all these years, all this different technology they had to walk us into, and it seems like that's what's going on. I feel like the aliens that are 50,000 years ahead of us are walking us into to meeting them a little bit at a time. You know what I mean? And then at one point they're just gonna lay it on us. Are we going to be here to see it? Probably not.
Chaos. No. I think it'll be chaos because you can't. So look at us as humans. You know what I mean? Like
Well, first of all, I think we're better.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
I don't know.
No, human pride.
I'm sorry, yeah.
Human pride.
Those little ugly things. I look way better than one of those little ugly.
You don't even know what they look like. That's what I'm saying. They could be walking around us right now.
You seen E.T. and that stuff? That's what I picture him as. I look way better than that. Yeah, if you want to think that little ugly thing is way more advanced than me, you go fuck itself.
I'm just saying, people.
If you come to hurt me, though, I'm sorry.
People in general are too hostile.
If you hear me out here, they would.
It's either gonna be war or straight like just straight pandemic.
Yeah.
Like, people are gonna freak the fuck out. That's what's gonna happen.
Hey, I was thinking when you said how much what money was missing?
2.7 trillion.
I think it was like 2 trillion, something like that.
Like, who they sacrificed over there for that? I'm like, who they sacrificed?
Somebody. We got to do our research, Rob. I'm going to do it. They sacrificed somebody over there. No, I hear you.
Wherever you have billions of dollars, you have tragedy somewhere.
Yeah.
Like no matter what it is, like you can't pass. I mean, just look at what happens to money, like drug money. Right. So drug money, it's what, $1 billion industry. Think of how many lives have to be done to have that money not be discovered on some front, or to even make that money. You mean to tell me, like I'm telling you, when you're talking about billions of dollars that go missing, they talk about it like it's like, oh yeah, well we kind of it's misappropriated funds. Like
you don't misplace $1 billion.
People are dying or getting hurt over that money. Tragedy is happening when you have money like that that's unaccounted for.
That's the same thing with the pill epidemic.
Yeah, the pharmacy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, like think how many people got sacrificed for that. You know what I mean? For just a family to make money.
Yeah.
You know
well, there's a lot of times with the pharmaceutical companies, you always seem like there always seems to be some connection with somebody dying behind either exposing them or some type of that's.
When you
all about conspiracies.
When you lose that type of money.
But look though, the Kobe Bryant, there's a conspiracy about Kobe Bryant's death. Yeah. Is that he was taking a pharmaceutical company to court, this is all legit. this is true. He was taking a pharmaceutical company to court over using the name Mamba.
Ooh.
Right, so there was something to where he had that trademarked, obviously, and they were doing. I don't know exactly what they were doing, but they were using the Mamba name for whatever the case is, and he was in court with them, going to court with them over that. And I don't know if it was like a lot of money involved, and but that's a conspiracy about
Always money involved.
It is.
it
is.
just dealing with the pharmaceutical companies and things like that. So
I won't put it past.
yeah, you never know. I don't like to throw that out because I mean his situation is very logical. They're in a helicopter crash, and you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm okay with just being
how do you-
successful. I don't need to be filthy.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, too much complicated shit happens in between there and nowhere.
Well, his situation I think is different though. Like I think he was just
Oh, absolutely.
doing his thing, living. And then he, maybe they were doing something,
What?
stealing money from
I
him.
think I'm with you, Brandon. I might sell a couple hot takes to make it, bro. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
like, let's sell a couple hot takes.
I feel like
you know
it,
what
man.
I mean? 50,000, I'll be all right. You know what I mean? I ain't going too crazy.
I'm with you, Rob.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Somebody gets sacrificed around here.
Hey, listen.
Somebody gets sacrificed.
You got chicks out here doing OnlyFans and they bubbling. You mean to tell me you ain't gonna?
Yeah, well,
I thought about getting on there shaking some ass too, but
He said it plenty of times. He
Yeah,
said it
I
plenty
thought
of
about
times. He
it
must have
all.
really
Yeah.
thought about it. But wait till
I don't think anybody
wait
would
till
see
shit
my
get
ass.
hard. Wait till shit get hard.
All right, well, let's wrap it up, y'all. That's it. That's the show. It was cool. I had fun. Good having Rob on here.
Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah. We'll be back in a few weeks with it and continue the bullshit. Peace. We out.
Peace.